We have yet another tussle with Manchester United today, this time on the final day of the season, along with a Europa League final against masters of their craft, Sevilla. But first, I did a bit of looking around for interesting statistics for this season, and I found one. After 37 games played in the expected goals prevented tab under goalkeeping, which is a pretty useful metric when determining good goalkeepers, it only lists the 20 best goalkeepers in the league. So as this scrolls down for you, you'll see both West Ham goalkeepers and both Middlesbrough goalkeepers. There is a skewing, of course, towards teams that face a lot of XG. But yeah, Heung-min Son. And just to show the three that you couldn't see before, Spurs' actual goalkeeper isn't on the list. It's also a little bit galling for David Raya and Muric, who are also first-team goalkeepers, that they are worse in goal than Heung-min Son. But welcome back to Wolves, where form of late has been a bit iffy, although there is a reason for it. Nonetheless, let's get you caught up. Of course, the Carabao Cup final is where we left things off. We beat Birmingham. Would have been a travesty if we didn't, but we did take our time about it before immediately losing to Middlesbrough. They have since been relegated, I think. Rapid Wien proved to be not a problem, although we only drew with them at home for whatever reason. Beat Everton 4-2. Man United, the reason for what I'm saying yet again, in the FA Cup. A fun old match, this one, actually. I think it ended up being about 8 XG between both teams. Norwich dismantled, Brighton beaten for losing to Napoli away, but then smashing them 4-1 at home. So we turned that one around in the quarterfinals there. Burnley also beaten the league. Lost to Chelsea. That one actually genuinely, probably one of the few losses we've had that were proper losses. We were just not in this game. Crystal Palace, Brentford and West Ham have seen 3 draws in 3 in the league. And our season has gone off the rails of late. Just those 3 points in those 4 games. Not superb, but 1-0 at home, Max Kilman sent off. The only person to be booked in the entire game, just twice. And then 1-1. Away sees us past Chelsea and facing Sevilla there. So, 5th in the league. We have a 7 goal difference boost on Manchester City, which isn't unrecoverable because Haaland is back, and Haaland does have the highest XG per 90 now. Still not making his way at the top of this list, but he is 12th, having only made 10 appearances. Rini Bargi is actually our best goal scorer. It's also a 3-way fight between Leicester, Brighton and Nottingham Forest to go down, although Nottingham Forest do have the goal difference advantage, so they're fine, actually. It is Brighton or Leicester that will go down, along with Burnley, who, yeah, they've been shocking. But Rini Bargi, also the best person in the league, his £93 million release fee is now concerning. But our situation is 1 point behind Spurs, and as I say, 3 ahead of Man City, with a goal difference in our favour, but a big loss today and a big win for them, although they do play Arsenal, would be a problem. Actually, speaking of Arsenal as well, should they lose and we win, we will go ahead of them as well. This was the best of our youth intake, by the way. I tell a lie, this guy's got the same potential, but he's better now, at the very least. Yeah, absolutely awful. I did get the board to agree to improve youth recruitment. Our facilities, both training and youth, are pretty good to begin with, actually. Yeah, youth recruitment is the hamstring there. Also, the bank balance is concerning. And the board, I forgot to mention this, the board did completely neuter our transfer budget going into January because of the debt and capped off our wage budget basically where it was. I am working on 2 end of contracts. The transfer budget you see now is because of the sales we made. But the situation I was talking about, the asterisks that need to be put on recent fixtures, is because of a week-by-week, almost slasher film-esque, one-by-one dropping of all of the players that could play inside forward on the right. We lost Rini Bargi first, then we lost Pedro Neto, then we lost Cunha and Dukanovic, along with Bellegarde recently, to the point where, literally, the only person who could play in that position on that side remotely competently was Adnan Januzaj. Anyway, Drogo, who has actually developed since I looked at that. But all of these players, including Guedes and actually Emile Smith-Rowe, have been injured over the last 2 months in various places. I think Elmas and Januzaj are the only 2 that have survived that entire period. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We had lost 6 of the 8 that were on this page at that time. People have moved around. Genuinely went into one of those Chelsea Europa League games with, I think, 5 youth prospects because of it. But we do have some of them back. Now, the problem is, Europa League final is on the Wednesday. We play Sunday. It's not a lot of turnaround, and I need to, at the very least, not lose this. The European coefficients, England are 4 points ahead of anyone else at the top of the coefficients for this year. So the 5th place will be Champions League regardless. I'll go as strong as I can whilst not playing anyone who's already on a heavy match workload. So Lucas Perry in goal, Aitnori, Kilman, Ørstegård, Semedo. Alexander, is João Gomez available? He is, and he's actually on a lower workload to begin with. João Gomez, Drago, McTominay. I didn't play McTominay in that FA Cup quarter-final and we lost it. So in he comes against Manchester United again. Guedes, Silva and Januzaj. Bargi is available for the bench. Returning to fitness, I'm not going to risk him putting him in the first 11 here. I just clicked through the honour guard that we gave Man United because they have just won the league last weekend. So that's a new thing for this game and I genuinely forgot about it, so I just clicked straight through it. Also means you've got nothing to play for, lads. If you'd like to prevent Manchester City getting Champions League football, let us win. You guarantee they only get Europa League if you let us win, Man United. As that genuinely looked like Højlund cleared it for us. But Anthony's still going, what are you doing, Anthony? You haven't understood the instructions. Let us win. Man City don't get Champions League. It's quite a simple objective. It does genuinely look like Højlund cleared that, but it was Kilman. Never mind. Ten Hag's still in charge here. Just imagine him on the sidelines going, let them win, you idiot. I suppose actually, if they score first, it might not look as obvious they're letting us win. Admittedly, I am also playing Guedes, Silva and Januzaj as my attacking line here. I hadn't really realised how poor that was. Of course, Januzaj's come back to Man United here as well. Both of them are on the field. But yeah, McTominay's on a 6.4 and booked. So yeah, I guess the narrative is already played out once this season, that you only get it once. As well, I mean, Anthony's missed an open goal there. I wasn't expecting the rebound, so I just stopped in silence as I was waiting for the inevitable goal there. And it, well, didn't come. Bless him. I mean, it's a fun half. We've had 3 highlights, this being the third of them, and they've all been Man United's. So this is concerning. Semedo, clear that, mate. To someone in, I'm going to say orange. A little more yellow in the match engine, don't we? I'm very annoyed that I have decided to do Wolves the 1 year they awake it isn't black, by the way. Or at least grey, that I could then just make black in the engine and get away with it. Anthony's literally done that goal once. Thank you, Lucas Perry's a wise to that then. Can we... I mean, this almost backs onto the previous highlight, but Joe Willock has just absolutely mugged everyone off there. Thankfully, everyone demugged themselves, but as they all closed down on him, we've had get your acts together and win this damn game. I mean, morale-wise, it's not great, is it? Loss, draw, loss, going into a Europa League final. I mean, great interception by Guedes there, but still goes away. Anthony's injured and still playing. That was a great interception. There was a moment there where the ball went in the box and we made a tackle. I just thought that was a penalty because I know the way the engine works, but Januzaj's coming off. That was the most incompetent touch I've ever seen in Football Manager. Aitnori's in danger of being booked, so we'll bring Bard on for good measure. I might as well change the other one as well while we're at it because he's already booked. Aitnori is alive at the very least, even if he is in danger of being booked. Good pass to Drogo, who has continued good form and good goal-scoring form as well. Not there, unfortunately. To Varane. We are hunting them down a little bit there in their own third. Closing down. Come on, what are we doing? Are we just letting them go through? McTominay's in the way of that, thank God. Drogo, hooked forward. McTominay's not getting into that, but really Bargi will get that header on. Keeps it in play. Somewhat unnecessarily, but hopefully this leads to something. It was our throw-in anyway. You should have let it go, mate. You should have let it go. João Gomez, he's got it back again. I generally felt like it was going to be a mistake leading to a goal situation, but João Gomez is charging forward for a halfback. Where are you going, João? I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just... I think the game genuinely didn't understand what João Gomez was doing up there, and then he just stopped while it tried to process it. This is so crazy. João Gomez on the most ridiculous run possible, just gets all the way into the 6-yard box and then just stops. Shaw kind of just stands in front of him, pounces off both of them, and Rooney Bargi smashes the loose ball in. That's one of the weirdest goals I've ever seen. I think we'll take McTominay off. Lightning has not struck twice there. We'll just preserve Smith Rowe in case we need him for Guedes' spot. So Elmas on. It's Asan on everything. Asan was under the corner, then he closed down the person. Great tackle in there. Still going to end up with Rashford on this left-hand side because of course it is. And Højlund's pulled back there. Garnacho's wide open and possibly offside. Oh, Højlund's the one that's being called for being offside. I don't think he was. He wasn't. It's this that was being called back. I mean, yeah, he definitely wasn't. Garnacho is more likely to be offside than he was. Again, you've not understood the assignment, have you? The game said Højlund was the one being reviewed, but Garnacho was the one that just had the lines drawn on him. I'm so confused. We'll get the big man on top. Sasha's on. At the very least, we might be able to get some second balls if they, aimed at him. Because if we do things like that, where we just punt it... What is going on with the defence there? I mean, if that had gone in, I would have been so furious, because he could have easily just stepped across and stopped that. Guedes puts the ball in. Ørstegård's under it for some reason. Do I need to make sure there's literally nobody else attacking that near post at all? Like, anywhere near it, let alone attacking it? I don't have anyone else on near post. I have someone attacking from edge of area. As literally anything, lads? At the very least, we've not lost a massive... I mean, there's been 9 minutes of extra time here for some reason. I was appallingly bad. Spurs beat Arsenal, though. In the end, Man City do win, but only by a goal by the looks of things. So we remain 5th. It looks like the FA Cup final is Man United or Arsenal. Actually, we better check who's in the final of that. No treble for Man United. I don't know if they were in the top 4 last year, but no treble for Man United. PSG or Liverpool. No domestic treble, of course, because we nabbed that one off them. Only 30 million for 5th. Oh, Rooney Bargi, English Players Young Player of the Year. And he actually had the second best goal. Belotti was one of the ones running out of contracts, but he's stayed at Roma. We have got the other one, though, which is Felix. Just another big meaty man to be a backup for Kilman. 7 times Europa League winner Sevilla. 7 times! That's ridiculous. We've not been in good form recently. That's basically what the preview for this talk said, so I'm going to click it. And yes, that's got the response we wanted. See, the game basically just tells you what to click there. I don't know why people ignore it. This is what you want the day before, isn't it? You want a loan, actual playing time, squad player, agreed playing time, squad player, expectations, regularly start. What? You're playing exactly what you've been told you're playing. Yeah, part of the reason for the Udokai transfer is finally Saudi Arabia are interested in us. I mean, we gave them Neves for Christ's sake. You think they would have remembered us? Not gonna lie, if they give me 40 million for Sole, I'll take it. Now, the preview there looked like it said Neto might be available as well. No, 6 days. Why did that lie to me then? In case you're wondering why I ran Uwe Drogo into the ground last game, it's because he's unregistered for this, so it didn't really matter if I did that. So we have 8 first team players and the goalkeeper available to us, which means we need to find 3 youngsters. So we'll run with the best 11 available to us. Lucas Perry, Bard, Kilman, Ørstegård, Aarons, João Gomez, Elmas, McTominay, Smith Rowe, Bargi and Kalajic up front. Come on, lads, let's get this. Sorry, Javi Gracia is Sevilla manager. How has he managed that? Talk about failing upwards. Nianzo, of course, player... Don't know if he's actually as good as he used to be, actually, Nianzao, but a player that's been utilised on this channel before. As the ball starts with Sevilla. Both teams in their home kits, it looks like. Montiel intercepted, though. Elmas on this. Obviously, had to deal with his former team, Napoli, on the way through again, as... Well, it's not great showing from the goalkeeper, though. Kalajic smashes that one. I was actually caught off guard a little bit by the quickness of this highlight, because Elmas nabs that at the beginning of the highlight, and the ball's in the back of the net within about 4 seconds. One touch, smash. I think the goalkeeper guesses the wrong way and then sort of goes, oh, it's gone that way, is it? Never mind. But draft favourite Rafa Mir there as we give away a penalty, I'm pretty certain, but we've gotten away with it for now. Cleared forward. Smith Rowe actually gets under that, but poor header to Kalajic, who was never going to get that. Markout, Nesri, Rafa Mir, intercepted by Kilman. Really, Bargi's not going to get under that. Nesri again. No, McTominay gets there first. Really, Bargi. McTominay charging forward. Smith Rowe should have done better. Sevilla playing from the back. Ocampos forced backwards though for now. Nianzao, Markout. Nianzao just sort of dragging Sashi all over the place a little bit, but start to close him down. Ocampos and Nesri. Where's the run? I can see someone fairly open on the left. Ocampos shepherded. Back to Montiel. That's Rafa Mir through, and that's a great ball actually. If he held his run. He did, apparently, not even being looked at. Rafa Mir here is definitely behind Kilman. Ørstegård, sorry. That's a shame. Yeah, it's the man in the middle that plays them on. That's a pity. Of course, their first shot, but I think we scored with ours, so can't complain too much. Yeah, game's calmed down a little bit. 25 minutes in. Adrosa. Intercepted though, Kalajic charging forward. Kalajic, still Kalajic. Oh, it's got in. Sorry for my surprise, he just ran a long way there. Normally, those just smash over. But a bit of loose play again, actually. A poor pass from Rakitic. Intercepted by Smith Rowe, and Kalajic just runs. Such a long run. Normally ends with a miss, but Kalajic bucks the trend and smashes it in for 2 goals for him tonight. I mean, for a man whose form has been, shall we say, patchy, he's turned up at the right moment again. Twice this season he's gone on a 10-match run without scoring, and still has 20 goals this season, which kind of tells you about his season. But of course, when it says 10 matches, it does include substitute appearances. Really, Bargi, Elmas, we played it short. That's an interesting decision. Aarons will get the breakaway, and that's the end of that. Never mind. Montiel. We've nabbed the ball off Rakitic. You get Rakitic is having a nightmare here. McTominay, though, disappointing. Throw in from Aarons, I presume. No, Rooney Bargi's taking this for some reason. Kalajic, João Gomez, Bargi again. Bargi, Aarons is there. Aarons has scored. Only his 2nd goal of the season. All this kind of comes because Max Aarons didn't actually take the throw-in, which he normally does, and he's there in the box instead to pop that in. 3-1. Oh, we'll take that on the stroke of half-time. Their average positions are all in their own half. All right. I thought the half-time T-Talk option that was available to me there was basically paraphrasing Bon Jovi. We're halfway there. Let's make sure we steal it, basically. Lucas Perry plays it out to Bard as he's instructed to do so. Bard finds Elmas. McTominay. That was curious, actually. There was a movement there. Smith Rowe, shadow striker, went across, and the actual striker stayed left. There's your positional play in play. Rooney Bargi, of course, inside forward on this side, in here already. So all 3 of them are already occupying 3 of their defenders, and Aaron's out here. All of this space. So much space for him to go into there. And actually, the Mazzala's just come in to occupy one of those defenders as well. Østigard finds McTominay. Elmas, kind of left alone a bit. 4-1. This all just comes from leaving spaces, basically. Because McTominay and Smith Rowe are kind of distracting their centre-backs. Kalajic is on a right-back, actually. So if the ball had come into him, he'd have probably won that header. Which leaves Ocampos trying to work out whether to deal with Bard or Elmas. In the end, he goes towards Bard and Elmas is left alone. And wrong choice, Ocampos. But Sevilla with a chance now. Oh, it's a free kick that's been played short, so this will probably be a goal eventually. Surprised it didn't go straight in, actually. I think the fact they didn't take the shot straight away is what's prevented the classic from happening there. Rooney, Bargi, Aarons. I mean, once again, though, look, you want to talk about this tactic at work? Pedrosa's obviously tracking Aarons here. Rooney, Bargi does have Marcal, but Marcal's got to think about Smith Rowe because Nianza's got to think about Kalajic and Montiel's got to think about Elmas now. And we've all still got McTominay just completely loose here. As a second. Rooney's the one that takes a shot, but if he pulled it back to McTominay, that probably would have been a goal. And we still have 3 people back, of course, because João Gomez falls back. Kilman, Elmas charging forward. Still Elmas. I mean, he's still going. Crikey. Ball's put in, McTominay's under it. Smith Rowe's not actually played superbly well. Rooney Bargi is knackered, as I'm not surprised he is. McTominay's tired too. Well, we have Guga and Guedes available, so we'll have to bring them on. Bard's booked. We might as well just protect a sending off while we're at it. Whatever happened to Augustinson, functionally? Used to be one of the best left-backs in this game. Speaking of, there he is, Luca Bacchio. Good goal. It was like the AI just stopped for us, for whatever reason. None of our players moved during that entire highlight, I don't think. Luca Bacchio just runs in here and they're just chasing him. For whatever reason, they're just chasing him, not anticipating. Such a weird and easy goal, but ain't Nori, just throw this in. And I say throw it in, it only ever goes as far as the first person and then they pass it back again every time, but Elmas doesn't get on the end of that. Rafa Mir now. A little bit overwhelmed defensively. I'll just bring this back a bit. Can we tackle? Can we tackle? Can we? He was offside anyway. I have run out of players, so Smith Rowe is going to have to suffer, unfortunately, because I really have first team players to cover that much. Semedo on, Sole on, João Gomez is going to play Mazzala. And done. I mean, if that's Scott at the front there, I don't know if it is because I think I subbed him off. So, interesting celebrations. I'm still here, clapping from the sidelines. Why am I not up there? I'm with Todd, down here. I don't know who's got the captain's armband right now. Number 15, I'll check afterwards. I think it might still be Scott. Yeah, Scott is 15. I guess they take off the bench bibs for European celebrations. They don't for domestic celebrations. It's just the first 11 that does them, for whatever reason still. 7 million, that'll help. A lot of medals given out, including to players that didn't even play a minute, which is odd. Odd on Elmas. Miles will do this press conference, but I won't care about it. Another 5 and a bit million, all things considered there. Champions League through that. Well, that's a point. I don't know if the 5th place that we had before was league stage, but that is. And we have a budget of 57 million just by the fact we're in debt, and the wage budget hasn't moved. Sorry, overachievers, Lincoln Red Imps, the Gibraltar team, got to the Champions Path 3rd qualifying round. I mean, they messed it up entirely by the end of it, but actually won a Champions League qualifier against a Maltese team, in fairness, but well done. UEFA Europa League Player of the Season, despite being injured, Neto wins. And despite winning the competition, Neto is literally the only player in the first 11 for squad of the season. In a weird way, I kind of like that. I would have preferred it if there weren't 4 Sevilla players. I appreciate less bias for the team that wins as a whole, but there's 4 people for the runner-up. Season review. I mean, obviously Bargi's the best signing, even though Iverson's got the badge. Mad. In all the price tags, they don't take off the optional bits on this page for whatever reason. Iverson was only 5.5 million. But Aarons, Perry, a shaky start for Lucas Perry, but he got there. Rodon played very well in the 14 games he played. A- for 5th. Okay, Leicester went down. Biggest win, Rhyme 5-0. Match to remember, the other French team, Rennes. Sponsorship up, broadcast down somehow, despite being in more competitions. Competition prize money, well up. Cunha, Rooney, Smith Rowe, Neto, Elmas are the best shirts. Yeah, that tracks. Perry with 50 appearances. Max Aarons at right back. Bard at left back. I did think they were the better two by the end of the season. Sole sneaks in over Østigard because, well, he actually didn't play centre-back most of the time when he did play. He played where João Gomez is. But Elmas, McTominay, Dukanovic, Neto and Kalajic. I'm sorry, what? Where are Cunha and Bargi in this? I wouldn't even mind if they put Neto here. Neto with 18 assists. That went under the radar. He ended last season with 15. Quite a lot of tabs this time on this timeline. They've said they improved this. So what have we got? Really Bargi, Alexander, Smith Rowe, winning 10 matches in a row. Fans of Wolves who chose to beat the traffic will forever regret missing their side's incredible 91st minute winner against rivals Aston Villa on 2nd of February. These are nice little ones. I do like these. And same thing. against Arsenal. I presume this is across the competition, but 5 assists to EFL Cup success. Rooney Bargi was next gen, by the way. Rooney Bargi was first, and Asanu Rodrigo was 10th, as that is kind of repeated 3 times. The 100th match was a 0-0 with Crystal Palace, because of course it was. Young Player of the Year we just saw, and Europa League winners. I like the fact that they are now highlighted a little bit better. For some reason, despite playing this formation for a year and a half, we still have a left winger. But okay. Next season, what is required? Be competitive, qualify for the Conference League, so 7th. Aiming to qualify for the Conference League. Tell them what the board wants, they'll like that. Got to counter ourselves. I'll do. Let's go. Oh, they said they were going to China already. Let's stay going to China. Why not? Arsenal beat Man United to not even give them a domestic double. Cash injection. Actually sees us as a positive now. Why is the Europa League played first? Just see who wins the other 2. Obviously not dependent on them this year round, but Gladbach beat Sporting for the Conference League. We've obviously won the Europa League there, and Paris Saint-Germain retain their title and beat Liverpool. That feels ridiculous. But sorting our squad by goals, Klajic, Cooney, you can see how much of a miss he was at the end of that season. Bargi, 3rd. McTominay, 14 goals. Lamparding it up. Neto, 10. Fabio Silva, actually 9 goals in only 18 starts isn't awful. Amas with 9. Dukanovic with 8 in 9 starts. Dukanovic quietly very good as well in his appearances. Uriah Drogo, 5 goals, 1 assist, 766 minutes played. He is something special. Assist-wise, Neto, Bargi, Elmas, Smith Rowe, Cunha. Guga with 6 assists in 13 starts is quite a lot. Melvin Bard, 6 assists from left back. Bellegarde with 6 assists. Semedo with 5. Aarons with 4. Aït-Nouri with 4. So about 9 or 10 assists from each fullback position. Not bad. I'll just finish things off by saying we have acquired Urukai. We have had to allocate an EST place for him because he didn't get a work permit, but we should probably sell Alvaro Fernandez in the summer, so that will release the other one back up again. So effectively just trying to make sensible free agent signings that we could either sell on next year or keep and be useful, because he is better than Courtney Hauser and he is the left-footed defender, a better backup to Kilman basically. And then if Sola goes to Saudi Arabia, we've got Udokai and Rodon as our first choice backups. And then Courtney Hauser is the spare one, which he should be as the homegrown club player. Speaking of which, we have nobody actually joining that echelon, really, of any importance just yet. Uriah Drago in 2 years is probably the next one. I'm not counting Rooney Bargi because he'll probably be sold by then, I imagine. 93 million, someone's going to take that. We'll see if anyone nabs that release fee. It actually does have an expiry of 2026, so we've got a year to do it. If no one triggers it before the beginning of the season after next, basically, he will be ours permanently. Highly unlikely that doesn't get triggered. There's a good chance he actually asks for a new contract before then. So that could help mitigate that problem. But anyway, will Rooney Bargi still be here in September, which is when I'll see you next. But if you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Until next time, thank you for watching. Ta-ra.